What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down STEFON Diggs and some of his route running from this past year's practice film, some of the one-on-one looks that he was able to get, some of the routes that he's able to choose, and I think this could really help you guys in terms of getting out of breaks fast, knowing how to sell this kind of come back and go, stutter go routes. I hope it gives you guys some value. And guys, if you're a receiver and you want to get faster, you want to be able to be more explosive, get in and out of your breaks faster, and be just an overall more explosive football player, check out that link in the description that says Speed Workout Plan. It's a full 28-day plan designed to get you to be a much faster athlete. Let's get this breakdown started. So first things first, we're going to be looking at this route, and this is something that the Vikings run a lot in their playbook. They're selling like a curl route, and then they push vertical. So they're snapping down, selling like they're going curl, 4 steps. It's kind of a variation of a stutter go. It's a little bit longer. It's kind of like a stop and go almost, but they're selling curl. And you could also work this selling comeback, right? It kind of varies each way, right? But we're going to talk about how Diggs is able to react on the fly, how he's able to sell this route, and then how he's able to create some space. So let's watch it full speed. So he's coming off here. He's selling like he's going curl, snaps on the 4th outside, breaks to the inside, reacts at this DB's outside leverage of him. So he takes the inside, I don't want to say inside release, but he goes inside with the move, right? So he's coming off here, right? And now we want to sell like I'm going curl. And he's snapping on that 4th, 5th outside step right here, right? So when he snaps down, he's violent with his hips. He's dropping his chin to his knee, right? We want him to have that heavy indicator step. Now, you see what this does here? This DB is able to turn his hips and actually run with him because Diggs does a great job of closing the gap with him, pushing vertical here, but also selling fade, right? If we want to get this DB to really be in a heavy back pedal, really get him to bite on the fade, I got to push vertical, and I got to close that gap with him fast, right? While at the same time, still being able to get up to my depth. So you see when he snaps down here, he snaps violent, he pivots off the 2nd step, 3, 4, and he has that heavy cut to the inside step here, and look where he's at. He's in that DB's blind spot, right? Now what we're trying to get is we're trying to force this DB to kind of speed turn out of here and break on this curl, and we go back outside. Now the DB doesn't necessarily play this first part of it bad, right? Because when we snap down and I'm selling like I'm running a curl, 1, 2, 3, he's out on the 3rd step, 4 is that heavy jab. He sees Diggs, realizes that this DB isn't going to bite, right? He knows that he made this break. He knows that he's not fully running the curl. So he's trying to sit over the top, and he's going to be playing fade. He's going to stay disciplined. But Diggs does a great job of reacting to the fact that this DB's outside leverage, right? And he's outside of him, so let's take the inside. We get his feet to stop. He doesn't know where we're at because we're in that blind spot, and then I'm able to push up vertical. It's a great job here by Diggs. If you guys run this route, right, and we're talking about being here, snapping down 2, 3, 4, and we know a lot of the times it's about reacting on the fly. His back is turned, right? We probably won't be able to get this outside. We probably won't be able to get outside leverage. He's probably going to be able to react to this thing a lot easier because we got his hips to turn, right? So if we get him sitting to the outside, let's just take that inside release, or let's take that inside on this move. This is a great route here by Diggs. Let's watch at full speed. So he's coming up here, snapping it off, break to the inside. Let's push up vertical. Great job reacting to where this DB is. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at this curl variation here. So this is going to be, or it's kind of, I would say more so of a stop route. I would say it's more so of a stop, not a curl actually. But when we're coming here, he's just DB to turn his hips again, selling like he's running a fade, right? So when he comes up here, he's going to take this like power jab to the outside, right? He takes this jab, this vertical set, right? So he's trying to get this DB to think, okay, I'm going vertical. I give this power step to the inside, a vertical set, and I'm pushing up to the outside to try to get his hips to turn and try to get him to bite on this fade, right? So if I could get him to turn his hips and go with this fade, that's what's going to be able to get me some separation because I know when to break, okay? So he's coming out here, gives this vertical set, pushes up here, 1 second inside, he snaps down, right? And it's very important, or not second inside step, he snaps down. So I push up vertical, I get his hips to turn because that's what sells, like I'm running a fade, and then I'm able to snap this thing off, drop my hips violently, and I'm out of this thing in 4 steps. So like it's kind of tricky. On a stop route, I normally like snapping, was what I teach. I snap with this inside leg because when I snap with this inside leg, I have the opportunity to be able to get out of this break fast, right? I could get out of it in 2 steps. So I could be here, snap, and get out of it in that 2nd step. He ends up taking 4 steps here, but you see that DB's on that back foot. That was the whole goal of that vertical set. That was the whole goal of trying to push vertical because if I could get him to turn his hips, I know when to snap it down. I could come back to that ball and I got the advantage, right? To this spot right here where the ball is, it's a race back to this spot. And if I get out of the break fast and pump my arms, I can get back to this spot fast. And that's a great job coming back to that ball, protecting the ball as well. Anytime we're in traffic, fellas, we go up, we catch this ball, we go up with strong hands, as you can see, and then I'm violent to the tuck and I put this thing away. I secure the catch. I catch this thing and then I secure it. That's a great job here by STEFON Diggs. Let's watch it again full speed. So there's another great way to run a stop route. You could do this on a curl route. You could do this on a comeback route. You give this vertical set here to get that DB to turn his hips. I snap it off and then I come right back to this ball. Depending on the route, obviously you can do this on a dig, curl, stop, do this on a comeback even. A lot of different things. You could do this on an out route. There are a lot of different variations that you could do off of this, but this is a great job using this vertical set. So let's watch this thing full speed. So come in here, vertical set, snap this thing off, inside leg, come back to that ball. Violent with my hips is what changes direction. So now we're going to be looking at this variation of an out route here. Now, you're going to see in the backfield here that this is kind of a longer developing play, right? So let's watch this thing full speed. So Cousins is going off a play action, so we have some time to work this move, right? Because it's a like I said, it's a longer developing play. We got to know when to use this route. This would be like a route where everybody loves to say, oh, it took too long, quarterback sacked. Like everybody loves to complain about those routes and when you don't have the right angle. But now you can really see the situation that you're going to work these things, right? You see back here in the backfield, play action. There's some action. It's a longer drop, max protection out here. We are one-on-one with this guy. We're going to be working this kind of square cut, almost like fake dig variation, okay? So that's what's going to get me back on this out route. I don't want to work this if let's say Cousins was in gun, he's taking a 3-step and letting it fly, or 3-step and a hitch. Probably don't want to work this route because the timing's going to be off. But because it's play action, longer developing play, this is when I want to use the situation for that move, right? So you see how he comes up here. He snaps on this inside leg, snaps, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and goes to the inside, right? All this kind of shuffle serves to do is just sells like he's running a dig. It's almost like that situation where you have a fake throw by, right? So you're running here, this guy's running hip to hip with you, and you throw him by with your right arm, and you get in that blind spot and you make a cut. It's kind of the same situation. It's just you're not really throwing this guy by. You're snapping it up. You see how he's here, and he takes this kind of 1, 2, 3 steps to the inside to get this DB to turn his hips, right? To get him biting on this dig. That's the whole goal of this. And now I can drive out and head back to the sideline. And Cousins, you see, has already gotten rid of the ball. Everybody loves to think, oh, the quarterback doesn't have that much time. The quarterback's going to be sacked, right? If you know the situation to use the releases, to use the routes, like if he was, like, let's say this was a situation where he was maybe walked down pressed, you could probably use a little bit longer of a release. I'm not saying to use like a slide release, but you could probably hit him with like a triple step or maybe set him up with a little hesitation move, right? So that's something that you guys got to know the situation. You got to know what's going on back here with your quarterback, with the play action, with his drop, with his footwork, with the timing, so we can structure my routes accordingly, right? So there's a great job here by Diggs, setting this thing up to the inside with his hips, with his pad level, and then snapping that head back around and accelerating out. Anytime I run it out, fellas, the quarterback is not going to wait for you. He is not going to throw this thing late, especially when let's see where this play starts. See on the opposite hash? Yeah, especially when he's on the opposite hash, he's not going to be throwing an out route late to you. He's going to be getting this thing out early so you can have as much separation as possible so that DB can't undercut this thing. It's a great job by Diggs here, knowing the situation to work a longer move at the top of the route. Let's watch it again one more time. So he's coming off here, setting this thing up to the inside, breaks down 1, 2, 3. Great job here. Now we're going to be looking at the same thing here. We're going to be looking at this curl and go, and it's going to be a situation where we actually take the outside. This ball was overthrown, but we're still going to have a chance to break down the footwork. So he's coming off here. Diggs is coming in motion. So again, he's coming off of that fourth outside step here. So he's coming off, right? So that's third outside step. Now he's snapping here, and I want you to see how violent his snap is. Because when you snap down, it's got to be so violent to be able to decelerate you. That's the goal. That's something that a lot of people don't understand. They think that they could just be soft with their hips, and being soft with your hips is going to cause you to drift, and you're either going to have to be slowing down right into it, because you see it all the time with guys who are explosive and guys who could be violent with their hips are the guys who are able to push vertical and change direction quickly. But guys who just kind of slow into it, they're kind of soft with their hips and they want to cruise into every single break, you're going to drift and you're not going to be able to create as much energy, right? How you cut on a dime is by being violent and going off the steps. You see how he stays the same stride length, and he's violent with his chin to his knee. Now what sells like I'm going to be running this curl is that second step. So you see how he pivots off that second step. He snaps, pivots off the second, 3, 4. And that fourth step is what's going to get him to jump to the inside, because you see how he's throwing his body into this movement. When you snap with the outside, pivot, 3, and on the fourth step, you're throwing your upper half. That's what he's going to be watching, right? Because where's that DB going to be looking? DB's clearly looking at his hips, right? Because hips supposedly don't lie, right? So you're snapping down 2, 3, 4. You throw your hips to the inside, you're more likely to get this DB to jump, but without completely opening up your hips so you have no burst, right? You want to throw your upper half. You want to give some kind of a shake with your hips, but at the same time, you want to keep an explosive cut leg, right? You want to be able to keep those toes pointed somewhat forward so you can push yourself and drive you back to the outside to create some separation, because you see how he's here. He's not slow out of this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and he's got some explosion, right? That cut should be sudden. That cut should be explosive, and that's what should sell you back up vertical. And you see how he's keeping that head down, and he doesn't look until he's got him by about 3 steps, because he trusts the quarterback to put this thing. Yes, it was overthrown, but he trusts him that he's going to put it with air, and we're going to be able to go run it down. That's why your tracking skills are so important. That's why it's so important to be able to track this ball up in the air, but being able to be violent with your hips on this curl and go and push off of that leg, keep your head down, and continue to push up vertical. That's a great job here by Diggs. Let's watch it again, full speed. Sell and fade, making the curl look the exact same, then push up. Let's watch it again. Coming off here, snaps it off, sells with the inside, keeps my head down. Don't look until I got him by about 3 steps. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, please leave those in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And guys, also, if you're a receiver and you want to get faster, you want to be more explosive, check out that link in the description that says Speed Workout Plan. I'll see you guys next time.